Hey, what's up, everybody? TJ Milam, tjfitness.net, and thought I would drop a video and chat about trying not to care what other people think. This is especially hard, I think, when you're growing up and even into your 20s and 30s. I'm 44. I think once you hit your 40s, it is quite a bit easier. You get, essentially halfway through life. I don't want to say middle aged just yet, but it is a little bit easier to just finally say, my body is what it is, my life is what it is, and as long as you're happy where you are, I think that's most important. But if you're somebody younger, let's say, I know a lot of people that have watched my channel are between 18 and 35, so probably a lot of people in their 20s, guys in their 20s. Um, I competed in the Muscle Beach Classic, International Classic in 2007, and I was 28, 29 at the time. And all I cared was what people thought about me back then and how I looked. I got so incredibly obsessed with how much muscle I'm putting on, how much protein I'm getting, my carb intake, my water intake, and I would constantly go to the bathroom where I worked and look in the mirror, lift up my shirt, and look at my abs because I was like, are they better than they were 5 fucking minutes ago? No. But it gets in your head, just uh, how you look. And of course, it's different when you're competing for a competition like that. If some of you have done that, you understand that. That of course you need to care about the way you look because you're being judged on the way you look. However, after that, and I was 29, I turned 29 in the process, what I mean. So that was Memorial Day weekend, 2007. And after that, I kind of went into a depression. Um, just all of a sudden, the goal was, I was pleased. I won third place out of seven guys. I was pleased with it. I more so wanted to just I wanted to do my best. I wanted to finish and, reach the finish line and then finally enjoy, cheeseburger, fries, beer, a Coke or something like that. Um, but I kind of, once that goal was gone, I was like, well, now what do I do? And I still cared way too much about what others thought. And living in a town like Los Angeles, like I did back then, a lot of people out there care about the way they look. Of course they do. And I put on some weight again, but I got back to a natural looking state. I looked great. I felt physically great. I put on like 15 pounds in 2 weeks. I was 135, went up to 150 really quick, but that was my natural weight with water and regular food again. But I still would still trained a lot. Um, but I would worry about the clothes I wore. How does my hair look? How tall am I? Nothing I can do about that. Worried about it a lot. And even when I got back to Nashville here in not a few months later, that was October of '07, still just kind of and became a trainer at that point. I was doing a totally different job in LA working in the film business. But it just takes over time, I would say. If you're in your 20s, yeah, it's hard. I mean, you still get judged so much by how you look. You get judged by coworkers. You get judged if you're going for a job interview. You get judged if maybe your friends, maybe non-friends, maybe you're trying to make new friends, whatever. It's of course you're going to get judged, so that's acceptable. But it's all about becoming happy with yourself. So it's still a struggle for me at 44. I don't look anything like I did back in 2007, but when I look at there's a picture of it right over there. I see it every day when I'm training clients on Zoom or FaceTime or something, online clients right here in my office. There's a picture of the '07 right there, and I see it every day. So I kind of like, those were the days, man. I mean, yeah, there were golden years. It was a great time. Proud of the accomplishment. But in my head, I still get kind of, well, how do I get back to that? Maybe I can get close to it, you know? And certainly doing this YouTube channel, people are judging me up and down, and it's been an incredible learning process. I've actually really enjoyed it. I've enjoyed the people who have talked a lot of shit, who think they know better, when really not one person on this whole earth, not one person on the whole earth is better than the next. Maybe somebody knows better, sure, but there's no one person on this earth better than the other out of 8 billion. And I find that fascinating that 8 billion people, even before and long after we're gone, are all going to be different than the next. So I think that's important. That's what I wanted to share in this video real quick, was accept your own individuality. Look in the mirror one day and say, you know, if you're still saying, well, this just isn't good enough, you know, if that's the way you want to think for a while, but there needs to be a day where if you hit that goal, let's say you're trying to lose 10 pounds or 50 or 100, great, fantastic. Of course you should care how you look, but how do you feel? And how do you feel up here? You know, don't let, don't let your ultimate fitness goal go too much to your head. It's kind of a mix of insecurity, ego, and your past. Look into your past. How were you treated back then? Think about that. And if you're dwelling on it too much, hey man, get therapy. Please talk to somebody. You know, I take 2 antidepressants. I learned that when I was just over 40. Serotonin and dopamine in my brain started to decline. You don't see that like you do a cut on your arm or something, or you break a toe, a leg, you get injured, your body, yeah, you know, you got to go to the doctor. But mental health is so important. So I want to stress that to all of you, especially younger guys, older guys, don't care how old you are. But back to that, you know, when it's time to not care what other people think, try to do it every day. Wake up every day and say, it only matters what I think. Whether somebody's judging me, or you know, sometimes we can look at somebody and we think, oh well, they're judging me up and down. Fuck them. Who cares? Or maybe somebody says it out loud, like somebody said shit to me on my YouTube channel. Whatever, man. I mean, obviously it's easier to turn off a YouTube comment, not even I just leave it there. I've deleted some of them if they're just absolutely shitty and just completely talking shit. I don't have time for that. So that's a little bit easier to move on from. But wake up every day and say, it only matters what I think. And before I go, I want to recommend this book by Jen Sincero. Look her up, lady. I read it after my second divorce. Yeah. And I'll make a video about that eventually too, about going through divorce. What's it like to go through that? What kind of mental state should you get? Of course, therapy. But anyway, we'll get into that. But Jen Sincero, it's called "You Are a Badass," and it was the perfect book at the perfect time. I found it on Amazon, of course, and it's a quick read. It's not long, but it's a lot of self-help stuff in there. A lot about learning how to work with the energy around you, things like that. I mean, it gets a little out there, but just get into it, and it deals with a lot of stuff in your mind, in your heart, and it really helped me look inside myself and say, it only matters what I think, and stop giving a fuck what others think. And when you stop caring what other people think about you, what they think you're doing, that is when you step into more of who you really are. So I'll leave it at that, and we'll check back next time. Take it easy.